Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to SmashBoxxTV's 21st podcast. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, joined here in studio, sporting his As Seen on
here.
SmashBoxx t-shirt, is Johnny V. Wow.
The one I bought myself.
Yeah, I'm not sure you understand how sponsorships work, but I'm glad that you could support our cause by buying a shirt from our sponsor.
You
did good.
I supported Miles.
Yes.
Paragon. Good friend of ours.
He's
and a little bit kicks back to us anyway, so... Right?
Yeah, somehow, I think. Miles, we're waiting on that check. Can you?
I want both dollars.
Can you refund the check that Johnny paid to get his own T-shirt? Well, I don't know. So, of course, welcome everyone. As we said, this is our 21st podcast. I know we kind of rifled through a few of them when we were at the memorial, which was an amazing experience. But yeah, we're all grown up. We're 21 now.
21.
Doesn't I think Taylor Swift has a song to that just to bring her up. And the funny part is
there should be limits. You can only bring up Taylor Swift once, and we can only bring up Stokely once.
Okay, fair enough.
Right.
And the funny part is
you're a Swiftie.
I guess I'm really not.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't find her that attractive for what it matters.
It's not a conversation we're getting into here.
So it's not that weird.
It's not a conversation we're getting into here.
All right. Well, we see that we have a bunch of people tuned in. I'm trying to update Facebook, tell everyone that we know we are live. Also, go ahead and click up the resolution on your broadcast on YouTube on the bottom right-hand corner. Of course, if you are viewing this. If you are listening,
if you're not viewing it, maybe you're blind, or you're on the podcast,
or if you're listening on a traditional audio only podcast, I'd love for you to find that gear button on your podcast.
Keep looking, people.
Keep looking. It might be weird. What's kind of funny is we can actually go into the analytics later, and we can take a look and see what everyone was watching in the stream,
what people are viewing it at, and things like that. It's pretty cool.
And it's almost disheartening though. We see people not using that 720 option, and we know that
just bandwidth issues.
It could be that, but we want to make sure everyone knows. Little gear, bottom right-hand corner of the screen. I'm looking 1, 2, 3, depending on your apps. It's probably the third or second or fourth thing in from the right hand.
Most people know what a gear is. I think we can figure that out.
I don't know. Kind of looks like a snowflake. Okay. Anyway, click on that. 720. What do we got here tonight? I think we got some of our regular stuff.
We do. We got most of the regular stuff. We have our event updates with Dana. We'll fly through those with him. We have an interview with Mr. Shasta
Chris. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make sure I pronounced his name properly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure his name gets messed up a lot.
It probably does, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about the origin of his name. And I had a few things that I was genuinely confused about. That I think we're going to clarify with him, get to the bottom of it.
Okay, cool. We'll go through some news and anything we've seen on social media, maybe a pro tip or a weekly pick or something along those lines as well. Pretty standard broadcast today, I think. Not that any of them are standard with us, but
no, there's no such thing. Hopefully everybody likes.
Thanks to everyone who has donated again in the past week. We've had a couple of them come in, so we appreciate that. You can always go to smashboxx.tv/support for that. So.
Oh, let's give a little spoiler.
No.
Yep, spoiler. Smashboxx.tv is not awesome at the moment.
What are you talking about? I took all of 30 minutes to make that website.
Yeah, so it's not awesome. However, we have had a number of people, and thank you guys so much, really on a number of levels. We've had people reach out to us. I'm not sure if that's positive or if that's negative when everybody's like, hey, this part of what you're doing sucks. Let me help you. But
there's people, they feel sorry for us.
Or they just want to see positive changes and are a huge part of that.
Yep.
So
they like what we're doing.
People like Stu Mullenberg and Brandon Goldner, they helped us so much with some graphics for the memorial. Thank you to you two, of course. But then other people have since then reached out to us regarding some back-end website work, regarding some video work and whatnot. So it's awesome. We do appreciate it. Not every single person that has contacted us are we able to immediately have you do some work for us yet, but hang in there. We'll put you to work at one time or another.
If you have some sort of skills, we'll find you and put you to work.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone that's reached out. So what I was really getting at, though, is smashboxx.tv. Hopefully by this time next week even, we'll have a entirely new look to it. And it'll look much better, much nicer, a little bit cleaner.
A lot cleaner.
One of the comments that we get a lot on there is they want to know about future broadcasts and podcasts. so do we, because we don't always have those planned yet. But
Yeah.
we're working on that. And then the other feedback that we got is just easier to find everything. And when we get the layout for you, this will be a lot easier to find everything right for you. Yeah. So look for a new SmashBoxx.TV, hopefully by this time next week. Yeah, we've got a lot of little nuggets of spoilers and whatnot, but I don't think we're going to get into them all. So
all right,
we'll leave it at that.
Let's get to our first guest.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Dynamite, Dana Vicich. How you doing tonight, pal?
I'm doing great. Is this the first time you guys haven't insulted me in the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes, and I haven't had to come on and defend myself?
It might be. Legend of Zoltar, can you check that stat for us, please?
Yeah, Legend of Zoltar can check it. We could rip on you for your Team Illinois sweatshirt.
Yeah, we've got kind of done that already.
Yeah, we could rip on your football team because I heard they're keeping Jay Cutler.
Ouch.
So that's good news for everyone in the NFC North.
You definitely can't rip on that beard, though.
No, that is. Well, I think I saw gray hair.
What do they say? That beard, though. No, maybe not.
Nobody says that.
Oh, true.
So I want to say cheers. It's our 21st podcast. So
yeah.
If anyone else is having one, cheers to you out there, Johnny, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking my motor oil.
I was filled in by my lovely wife that the Taylor Swift song is actually 22, right? Or the album? 22, not 21. Is that it?
I think she's right. Yeah, I'm feeling 22. Yeah. Okay. So next week I know where it's gonna be at. You just wait, everyone. 22. So
on a more positive note, Dana, let's talk about some events this weekend. Did anything happen? It seems like such a slow week compared to last week with our memorial coverage, but I mean, I know there were some big events going on.
Yeah, definitely. Last week I touched on the Earlwood Classic amateur side. This weekend was, in fact, the pro side, and that was a B tier in Columbia, South Carolina. And the winners of the pro men, pro women, and pro masters all had something in common from this event. What was it?
I'm sorry, what tournament was it again? I tuned you out for a second in my head. Oh. No, seriously, the Earlwood.
Okay. Earlwood Classic in South Carolina. All the three winners in the pro men, the pro women, and the pro masters all have something in common. It's something big. You think about it. I'll tell you who won. On the open side, it was Barry Schultz, Lane King.
They all have world titles. They all have world titles.
Yep.
Alan Beaver.
Yep.
On the masters side.
They all have world titles.
And I can see from here on my wall are a bunch of black discs. Are they all Hall of Fame members? Is Elaine King a Hall of Fame member?
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah, I figured she was.
Yeah.
So they're all Hall of Fame members. Did I nail it?
Johnny got it. Terry, you lose.
Yeah. Well, I'm a loser.
Nice try, kid. Keep your chin up.
Yep.
Do I get sprinkles?
Sprinkles are for winners.
Dang it. All right. No, very good. Very good.
Yeah. Maybe next time you get it, Terry. But yeah, congratulations to those guys and gal. They all shot some pretty darn good disc golf. Also this past weekend, there was an A tier down in Florida, the Sun King Latitude 64 Sunshine State Shootout, put on by our friend Mike Barnett, and there was a bunch of crazy disc golfers there.
Like Crazy John disc golfers?
Crazy John was not there.
Oh.
He is crazy. Love crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But these crazy golfers I'm referring to are the ones that drove from the Memorial, cross country, all the way down to Florida. There were a number of them that made the drive. So some road warriors out there, and A couple of them actually won. On the open side, Will Schustrick took down the victory by a few throws over Terry's boy, Dana Vicich. Can I say his name? Can I say Kale?
No.
You might disappear, but
Yeah.
you can say it.
Yeah, Leviska is.
Yeah. Well, the king of the North, Kale, he got second place. Finishing in third was Cameron Lincoln. So, congratulations to Will for the A-tier win. On the ladies' side, Paige Pierce continued her dominance in 2015. She won, this time, she only won by 15.
Oh, only.
Wow.
Yeah, so 15 over Katrina Allen, and finishing in third was one of DG Guy's girls. DG Guy's girls.
One of my
Madison.
favorites.
Yep. Madison got third place. Is that right? DG Guy girls?
I don't know. She's one of my favorites out there.
What's her name?
She's everybody's favorite. Well, when I'm interviewing her and I'm screwing things up, I refer to her at the memorial as Madison Rast.
Yeah.
And when you want to be correct, you refer to her as Madison Walker.
Yeah, we've got that. I've got that footage that I'm saving at some point till we see her next on camera, so I can put it up there. An entire interview of you just completely screwing up her name until the last minute.
Well, yeah,
With
I think
some great photo bombs in the back.
Yeah, I introduced her, said, "Oh, this is Madison Rast." We had a great conversation, and at the end, I kind of exited the interview, calling her again Madison Rast, and she just was looking at me funny, like, "Why in the world? What are you talking about?" And I felt, of course, really stupid. And then I had to remember that Madison Rast was, in fact, a male player that played in the Philadelphia Open. He's from that area. He played in the Philadelphia Open, and I knew his name because I had talked to him, and he played in the tournament when I ran it. Long story short, I mixed up Madison Rast and Madison Walker, and she saw that he plays the cello. And so every time Madison Walker sees me, she says she's going to, mime that she's playing the cello. So if you see her dancing around like a goofball more than normal, it's because she's playing the cello to make fun of me. So there's the whole story behind there, just so you know.
Just so you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for filling us in.
More info than anybody wanted.
Well, it's gonna, because
gonna
that
come
video
out.
that
It's
video is
gonna
gonna
come
come out at some point.
Wow.
And so that's the story.
Okay. Well, for those that aren't keeping track, that's 2 weeks in a row with Prodigy sweep. So
Very nice.
good work, guys. Maybe my name will get up there at the top too. I can get in on the action.
I think it could. Yeah, I mean, sweeping, janitor, no. That'd be great if Prodigy wanted to reach out to us and maybe support our broadcast.
Yeah, we could have the Dana segment brought to you by Prodigy.
Just saying,
But just
I like that.
throwing it out there. I mean,
we're just saying, if Prodigy wanted to support us in any capacity, we'd listen to their suggestions and of support.
While we're on the topic of support, how can you support the Smashbox podcasts?
tune in.
Yeah.
Maybe buy a
Share.
T-shirt.
Yeah, we're working on
Okay.
a few things. We're going to continue to develop. A few different sponsorship offers.
Yeah.
We want to keep them relatively small and very affordable for everyone.
Yep.
We
have some
are going to have some
commercials, maybe.
Yeah, some segments and commercials and whatnot that can be named. So somebody's going to be able to do that. And Johnny V said, you go out to Paragon Disc Golf, buy a As Seen on SmashBoxxTV T-shirt. That's another good way. Yeah, those are all probably the easiest ways. But if you have a really good idea for a segment, or you want to name a segment, or you want to, officially sponsor a segment, reach out to us. We're working on a couple different things we'd like to piece together so that people can brand a segment or a name.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But that's
Thank
not.
you for that.
But that's not what we're here for. We're not here to plug ourselves.
No, we're not.
We're here. We're here to listen to Dana. Well,
Is Dana from Prodigy? Or are we still listening to him? Even if he's
yes. We're
okay.
Here, we're here to
All
listen
right,
to
go on, Dana. Go on.
All right, let's head up north to Michigan and talk Lumberjack Open.
Oh, I like that
B
event.
tier.
We went there a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the old Lumberjack Open. I went up there once. It was what gets me is every year it falls on the same weekend of the time change. So for me to go up there and travel north to Michigan, I lose an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's always on the Sunday of the time change, and I've got that sucks, and then the whole driving north in winter, it just doesn't work for me. So I stayed home, but my good buddy Taylor Samala, he didn't stay home. He came up from Michigan, and he got himself his first B-tier win.
Whoop whoop.
Good for him. Congratulations.
Congrats, Taylor.
Yeah, I was trying to do some research. Taylor, I actually texted him. I said, don't get second place, because he's in the last 2 years he's gotten, I think, double-digit second place finishes in tournaments. Maybe the last 3 years, but he loves to get second place. So he got second place last year at the tournament, but jumped it up, and he got that B-tier win. So congrats to Taylor. Finishing second place was John Perry, and he was just one throw behind. And also on the ladies' side, we had a couple of the top lady players in the game. Ragna Big D, she won in a playoff over Liz Carr.
Oh,
And
nice.
Liz Carr has another name on her last name, Spadian,
Spaghetti.
Sperry. I don't know.
Sibden?
Maybe someone can chime in, but I don't quite know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Liz Carr, Spider Woman.
Whatever it is, she's pretty good at throwing a comet,
Yes,
And,
she's very good.
throwing discs in general. So, but congratulations to all the winners and everyone from this past weekend.
Very
And,
nice.
Yeah, that's all I have to talk about for tournaments this past weekend.
Real quick, Dana, now I know you scour the PDGA board, and of course we've covered non-PDGA events either way, but did you see a lot of events going on this last weekend? Do you see a lot more on the schedule? I mean, things are they starting to get hot and heavy? Are we officially moving into tournament season?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely lots of tournaments popping up. Next weekend there's a couple A-tiers, another one down in Florida. The St. Patrick's Classic out in California is an A-tier. Here in Illinois, there's a C-tier that I'm thinking about heading up to. But, yeah, it's just that time of year when there's a tournament to play every weekend finally.
Yeah, there's tournaments going on everywhere, and whether you're into sanctioned or not, or singles, doubles, it seems like every weekend there's something going on. We're going to talk a little later about tournaments and their capacities and all of those types of things. We're going to talk about some of that stuff a little bit later on in the show, but good to know there's a lot of options out there. Sometimes you can be in the same state and have 3 or 4 different options depending on where you are and what's going on. So, yeah pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I'm going to be running a tournament in a couple weeks here. I'm going with a different format. I'm going to do unsanctioned match play. We're going to have, it's called the Gunslinger, a match play event in Highland Park in Joliet, one of the better courses around here, minus the baskets. But yeah, we'll have 2 different brackets, kind of like March Madness, 32 on each side, and yeah, at the end of the day, we'll name Joliet's Gunslinger. So it should be a lot of fun. So reach out to me if you're in the area and want to play. But as you guys both know, match play is it's a lot of fun.
How are you going to narrow down the people in Joliet carrying guns? From
I mean, Terry? Is that Terry or Johnny? Usually it's Terry coming in with.
I'm sure they're all permitted.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. It's so easy to make fun of people from Joliet. Ever since we've been good friends with John Knutson, it's just been a running gag with us in Joliet. So
yeah.
Well, just so you guys know, a lot of people from Joliet do tune into the show.
I know, and we love them,
it,
and we support them.
Thank you to everybody. And I went out and played a disc golf league yesterday, Chain Seekers League. It's a new club in the Joliet area, but cab driver, I can't remember his name, but he said he loves podcasts, and he loves our podcast. So
good. Well, hopefully, if he's listening, thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What, say something. Say it.
No, I got nothing.
No,
We appreciate everyone that tunes in,
do.
and for those that don't know, just like we talked about this at length last week about interacting with our players. For those that don't know, yes, there is a funny jabbing rivalry that's pretty much in good-natured fun that goes back and forth with most Illinois people, not just golfers, but
Wisconsin.
Illinois and Wisconsin, obviously going back and forth all the time. So it's all in good fun, and I've played plenty of tournaments. We've both played plenty of tournaments in Illinois, and all the smarter Illinois golfers come up and play all the tournaments in Wisconsin. So it's a good, fun rivalry that we all have amongst each other. So it's all in good fun, guys.
And Illinois definitely does have the bragging rights for the Sandy Point team tournament still. So
that I will give you. You're right. Last year you won the team tournament up at Sandy Point Resort. Good job.
There's a question about your match play event. Are you handicapping, or is it just straight up?
no, the different pools. One will be pro and advanced, and it'll be a random draw for who your first round matchup is with.
Okay.
And the other pool will be intermediate rated and below, and again with random draw. So the first round will actually be 18 holes match play, and so a lot of people will be eliminated there. And then the next round, we'll have the next round, and then everyone that's eliminated there will be entered into doubles. So you're guaranteed 36 holes of golf.
Okay.
So while the doubles round is going on, a portion of your entry fee actually goes to the doubles. So you have something to play for. But everyone's guaranteed 36 holes, and yeah, I think I played similar event, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Madison used to have a match play event here in Wisconsin, and there's been a couple other ones around the area, so we look forward to that.
So when you're down there playing an event like that, and you say, "Well, how many shots did you take?" Is that necessarily
3 in the side, 1 in the shoulder?
Is that always referencing golf? No,
Not as funny.
Sorry,
Not as good.
I don't know. Sorry
Sloppy
about
second jokes.
that. Yeah, I know. I got to work on those. Let's get back to the puns. Anybody got some puns that I can play off of?
No, you're not very punny.
Oh, anyway.
Got to chuckle out of Dana. That's what matters.
And of course, we'll send a quick shout out. The guys over at John Andrews and crew ran a non-sanctioned tournament in Wisconsin this weekend, and I know the beneficiary of that was beneficiary was the Special Olympics of the Oshkosh, Wisconsin area. So another great event to raise money. And Dana, do you have before we let you go? Do you have any St. Jude Invitational updates that you'd like to talk about? It's something we're going to discuss a little bit later on the show as well. But do you have any St. Jude Invitational updates?
Yeah, if for some reason you guys have missed it, right now registration is open for all current PDGA members.
Yeah.
So if you're a PDGA member or you want to join the PDGA and play in the event, you are welcome to do so. Spots are limited. I don't quite know what the registration numbers are at the moment, but I wouldn't wait too long to register. So you can visit stjudediscgolf.com and find out all the information there. And then, of course, if you just want to join in on the fundraising, you can go and set up an account there and join Terry's team. It's going to be the losing team against my team. Or you can join my team, or you could start your own team. So if your league, let's say the J-Town Disc Golf Club or Chain Seekers, someone local, they want to start a league or not start a fundraising campaign, they can do so and have it be in their name, and all members can hop in there. So, a lot of different ways to get involved, and really, if you think about it, if everyone could just go out and donate a couple dollars, I think we would make a really significant impact. So.
Yep, that's what we've said. We've always said, well, about everything that we do and any of the charity stuff. If just 1/2 of the people donated a couple bucks, it would be a lot of money. So
yeah.
I know get out there and give to St. Jude.
Yeah, one of the cool things we did from a few weeks ago, I had run an event, and generously enough, our good friend Scotty Too Hottie Bertard, even though he hit the ace pool, he donated his Ace Pool funds right to the St. Jude effort.
That's a great idea. We could, promote like a week where everybody donates half of an Ace Pool that they get. Everyone throughout the country. If you hit an Ace, donate half of it to St. Jude from like April 7th or to April 14th or something like that.
No, I think
Just
that's
call it like,
St. Jude Ace Week.
St. Jude Ace Week. There you go, Dana.
Yeah. So there's one idea, and then
say that slower. I'm writing this down.
So you can pretend like it's your idea. So everybody that happens to hit an Ace, whether it's at a tournament or a league, or even a lot of people do what we call 51 here, 5 and an 8. You hit $5. Everyone who's playing with you gives you $5 or $1 if you hit medal. You donate half of that, or if you're the tournament director, you run that by your league. Or I'm sorry, the league director, you run that by your league. Like this week, if you hit the Ace Pool, it could be $20 or it could be $120. Half of it we're going to donate to St. Jude. And just pick a week to do that. 2 weekends from a Saturday through the next Sunday, so that we get maybe two events.
Yeah. Well, I know, and to further that point, the small little unsanctioned event I ran this weekend, there was no Ace hit. We donated all $35 that was in that Ace Pool. We donated that to it, and then one gentleman had some funny money left over, and he was like, rather than buying one more disc or one more hat or whatever it was that he picked out, he said, throw my extra $8 or whatever towards that. So the team disc golf guy account was started. We talked about a SmashBoxx one. We just figured the disc golf guy would be an easier one to go with rather than trying to have multiple ones. So the disc golf guy is out there on the St. Jude website. We're going to put up a link for it. Please sign on. We've already had a couple Jude. Yeah. I think myself, of us ever see, we don't touch the St. You make go team or also go straight. See, I think that. What if I feel hard on me because you're on the
excuses. Right around $100, I believe. I just had
we getting
a donation come in from Miles, so thank you, Miles. That just came in the last half an hour, and and actually Johnny was talking about the Ace Pots and donating that. Sergio over at Parkside in Wisconsin, he's running the Parkside Open. They are going to do a 50-50 hole, and half the proceeds donate to St. Jude. So that's an easy way, another easy way you can implement a way to add some excitement and add some money for a good cause. So maybe a 50-50 at your tournament, league, etc. The Chain Seekers here in Illinois, after their leagues, they're doing a $5 throw off. You get 5 throws for a CTP. Half the money goes to the winner, half goes to St. Jude. So plenty of ways. Reach out to me if you have ideas or you have questions, concerns, thoughts. Please message me on Facebook or email me. Just type my name into the Google. You can definitely find me.
The Google. He
Tweet
says.
at me. I don't know.
The Google.
It sounds like we're Dana. Just to follow up here, it sounds like there's having a couple of issues here on YouTube side of things. So we are trying to make sure that everybody's here.
Yeah.
And it seems like there seemed to be an issue here, Johnny.
Yeah. I mean, everything looks good on our side as far as connection. I haven't seen our speed go down. I do see in YouTube it's giving me a warning that they're not receiving our video data fast enough. So I don't know what that's about. Everything on my side is clean. I've made sure all the internets are unplugged all around. So as long as nobody's
all right,
whatever that is spinning, kill that.
Yeah, we're not sure what's going on here, but
Facebook. So anyway,
okay,
we'll get it figured out. Everything's recorded, so if we miss anything, you can always view it after the fact.
Oh yeah, good idea.
So,
all right, Dana, you got anything else for us?
Now, I think off the top of my head, that's all I have. Actually, Joe Lozano, I think that's his name, the cab driver. So shout out to Joe. I'm gonna give you know what, Joe? I'm gonna give you the big hug.
Oh.
I love when people come up and tell me that they like the show and they enjoy it. So I'm switching things up. Big hug to Joe. Hopefully you go out and get some birdies next time, maybe an ace or something like that. And thank you to Joe and everyone else in Illinois, Wisconsin, across the country and world for tuning in. I appreciate it. And who you guys have tonight?
We have the wonderful, fun-loving, always smiling and having a great time, Shasta Chris from Team DGA. He will be, in fact, our first Team DGA member. And
yeah.
we're guessing that your wife loves him?
She's a
I'm
fan.
confused. I'm confused.
I do.
Yeah, we're Shasta fans.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the show. First of all,
is this our first online showing of Miss Vicich? Is she? She's normally like the invisible wife hanging out in the back.
The girl screaming. The girl screaming. In the background.
Welcome, Ashley. You got anything you'd like to add here besides being a Shasta fan?
Nope.
Okay.
She's a little camera shy there, but no, we love Shasta, and he would definitely. If I was choosing a card, Shasta would be on it. So, but I'll let you guys go. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you so much, Dana.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Dana.
Wow. All right.
That guy.
Well, again, thanks to Dana, always giving us our weekly updates. And again, if there was any tiny glitch there, sorry about that. We've done everything I think we can do on our end.
Nothing changed from last week, and I think I don't know if it was a YouTube or maybe it was a Time Warner thing in the cloud. That something strange, but who knows?
All right. Well, let's see if we can hear if we can get Shasta dialed up, and hopefully everything runs nice and smoothly with him. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if the Facebook works. I can't get it to work tonight, and usually I'm pretty proficient with the Facebook.
You're normally pretty good at Facebook.
Not tonight. There seems to be an issue here. So, did you jack with the stream or something?
No, my Facebook works just fine.
Oh, okay. Well, without further ado, from Team DGA, we have Shasta Chris joining us tonight. Shasta.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to the show. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. How's my lighting?
Looks great.
You look beautiful.
My 3D glasses on.
How do we look?
Yeah.
There's a right answer here, Shasta.
You guys look perfect.
Okay.
I mean, probably better than you do in person.
Oh, for sure. Turn down that resolution and we look even prettier.
Well, welcome to the show, buddy. I hope I'm not busting you out too much, but yesterday you said I was your first ever Skype?
Yes, you were my first ever Skype.
Well, we are glad we
can't ever take that away.
I will forever remember it, and we're glad that we could get everything up and running so you could join us on the show. Almost every single week, I think we see you, unless you have somebody else impersonating you, we see you tuned in on the message board, taking in the podcast. Is that right?
I've been here for most of them.
Okay. Where were you on the ones that you weren't here for?
Yeah.
Maybe working or just forgot about it. But I think I've missed a couple.
Okay. Well, first of all, of course, again, welcome. Team DGA, Santa Cruz area. Give everyone a little background if they're not familiar with who you are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Santa Cruz disc golfer. It's Team DGA. Been playing for them for about 5 years now, and it's a great team to be on. It's they're based out of Watsonville, California, which is about 10-15 miles away from me, so that's very convenient. And yeah, it's great being part of the first company in disc golf. So we always call it a family, but it really does feel like it. We're all friends and a close-knit bunch of people.
So how long have you been playing? What are some of your favorite courses in that area? Give us some of the I'll say the basics out there.
Well, I come from the world famous De La Viega disc golf course.
I heard people like that place.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular place. It's funny, I was thinking about it. It's kind of a rite of passage here in Santa Cruz. When you're in high school, you kind of go to De La Viega, and that's what happened with me. It was probably about 1992. I was a sophomore in high school, I think, and a buddy had his license and a couple of discs, and we went up there and played. And I grew up a golfer, playing golf at De La Viega Golf Course, which is, you kind of drive through the golf course to get up to the disc golf course. So I pretty much spent a big chunk of my life up on that hill above Santa Cruz at De La Viega. It's an awesome place to be.
And I'll say for both Johnny and I, when we came out there for the 2011 Pro Worlds, that was my first time playing that course. And exactly what you're saying, there's so much history, there's so much talk of it. There's, you know, the top of the world hole, there's all the trees and the you know, grass or lack of grass where you get these skips and you get daylod, as some people have said. You know, there's so many stories that seem to have come from that course, and it's just so historic. Did you get a sense of that when you were, you know, just getting involved with the scene, how important it was, or was that just your home course and, you know, that's all you knew of it?
Well, I think by the time I was on the team about 5 years ago, I definitely appreciated the history of De La Viega. But growing up and playing there, it was just, it's funny actually. It's back in the 90s. It was, I mean, there was a lot more lush, and there was poison oak everywhere. Every tree had poison oak growing up it. And I was a golfer. I didn't care. I threw a cobra basically. I learned to play disc golf with a cobra because it went straight. All my buddies would try to throw a viper or something else. They would skip down the side of the cliff, and they'd be the ones getting poison oak, losing their disc. And I kind of just sacrificed distance for control, like right away when I started playing disc golf. And it's kind of funny because that's pretty much the style of my game now too. I'm more of a accurate player versus a distance player.
I would think if more people were like that, we'd have a lot better golfers, a lot more better golfers. I think some people overcompensate with their discs, and they end up not taking it as seriously because they can't hit that next level, that next plateau. I mean, I'm sure some of your friends probably have fallen off the face of earth when it comes to disc golf, and you're still here.
Oh yeah, it was funny. It was actually hard for me to get any buddies to play back then because the course was so challenging, and the poison oak factor, and
sure,
you know, and you'd always lose your disc, and it was just kind of I stuck with it, and it kind of was probably about the early 2000s that I really started playing and taking it seriously.
Now, would you say there's a specific memory or any specific instance or anything that really jumps out in your mind when you think of that place? Maybe a moment from a Masters Cup or any event, whether you were playing or not. Is there anything that jumps out at you?
Well, I think a memory that I'll always hold dear to my heart, and I still think it's probably my favorite disc golf memory, is definitely winning the Fault Line Classic there, my first PDGA win, and it was the first time my mom ever came out and watched me, and it was a pretty epic battle with my buddy Ray Johnson, and it actually all got filmed by another buddy who ended up being a buddy, Ben Baker, and so it's all documented, and it was a pretty amazing experience to win on my home course in front of all my friends. And yeah, it's something, to this day, it's still my fondest disc golf memory of De La Viega and just in general. Yeah,
I was going to say, what was it like having Worlds come? I mean, everybody talks about where you play, your hometown, and what, how cool it is to see the tour. Maybe it's the national tour, maybe it's, an A tier or B tier, whatever it is. But how cool was that to see the Pro Worlds come and be played in your backyard?
It was awesome. I mean, I think that happening really kind of got me more serious about competing and wanting to travel to other places. And I got to know a lot of the touring disc golfers who came and hung out in Santa Cruz. Eric McCabe, I don't know if he's on there watching, but he stayed with me a lot and got to got to play with him a bunch during that time. And it was really awesome. And yeah, it was epic having Worlds here at Santa Cruz. It was funny because De La Viega, it was like, I think it was the second day I was playing, and it was really foggy and overcast, a very gloomy day for Santa Cruz in the middle of summer, and I don't think really anybody came out to watch and spectate De La Viega because it was on a Tuesday or Wednesday or something, and yeah, it was kind of surreal. Like, we're actually playing the World Championships right now. It seems like more busy on a normal day out here at La Viega, but
Sure.
it's just kind of the weather in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I actually now that you mentioned, I remember exactly what you're talking about. It was that Tuesday. It was super overcast. You could barely, when you were on the tee, at least whenever I teed off, I think it was relatively early the first day. When you were on the tee of one, you couldn't even really see the basket, and somehow I couldn't see the Mando tree either. But that's besides the point. But you couldn't see the basket. And did you say that's really uncommon to have that much fog out there, or not necessarily?
It happens out there, and that's kind of being in Santa Cruz. We don't have seasons. We could have our crummiest day in the middle of August, our nicest day in January. It's just, today was actually like that. It's the first foggy and overcast day we've had in a long time. Like, it's been like mid 70s a lot lately. It's, we pay for it though. The cost of living here, we
Well, and that kind of segues to my next question. Now, we see you on tour. I see you on tour quite a bit. You travel around. It seems like you get around often and to a lot of different events. Do you have a day job? Is disc golf your full-time job? Would you consider yourself a touring pro? Or are you more of a weekend warrior that gets out there?
I'm kind of a hybrid. I do have a job in Santa Cruz. I actually have worked at an awesome music club for the last 15 years called Moe's Alley, and I'm a bartender. I don't work. I know it's kind of, they're very flexible with me. It's like anytime I want to go and play disc golf, I'm able to go. And when I'm around, I try to pick up as many shifts as I can when I'm around. But it works well for being a disc golfer. It's like, it's funny. It's kind of prevented me from playing tournaments because I had to work every weekend, and I actually left, started doing some landscaping for a while, and then that was really hard for disc golf too because I was beating up my body. And then I kind of got asked to work back at Moe's Alley again, and part of the deal was that I would be able to pursue disc golf and have that be a priority with the scheduling, and it's ideal. It's awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Awesome.
My manager at Moe's and Bill, the owner, they support me, and it's awesome. And all my regulars there, they like to hear my stories of what I'm doing and what places I've gone and played disc golf at. It's awesome.
So if you're out in Santa Cruz, go visit, Shasta at Moe's.
Yeah.
Moe'sAlley.com.
Yep.
Check it out. It's a great place to, some of the best live music. We're in this music city. We're probably one of the best places to see live music in Santa Cruz too. So, hopefully, something I was thinking about today. I want to try to get something going on between the Masters Cup and St. Jude, because I know there'll be a lot of people in town. That hopefully, maybe one of those weeknights have a show and something, get a bunch of disc golfers to come out and have a good time in Santa Cruz.
Speak to that just for a moment. Your proximity, maybe the travel and all those other things. If somebody were to be at the Masters Cup May 6th, I think it's the 15th, 16th, and 17th, that weekend, and then the next weekend being Memorial Day weekend, where the St. Jude event is taking place in Seaside. Talk a little bit about the distance, and things people should be doing, or if people did come out for that 7 or 9 or 10 day stretch. Talk a little bit about what they should take in, some of the experiences, maybe golf or otherwise.
Well, there's going to be a lot of things going on in the Monterey Bay that weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. There already is anyways. There's actually, it used to be called the Santa Cruz Blues Festival going on. It's now called the American Music Festival, I think it's called now. But that's happening in Santa Cruz. And then in Monterey has a big reggae festival. I think it's the California Roots Festival. So those are two things happening. And then where the course is I'd say it's about 30 miles south from Santa Cruz. It's in Seaside Marina and almost to Monterey. So definitely, I'm going to have to say, look into lodging as soon as you can, reaching out, or campgrounds, anything like that, because those things are probably reserved, and it's going to be peak pricing for hotels and stuff like that, just because it's Memorial Day weekend and there's a lot of things going on. But there's a lot of disc golfers in the community too, so I know we'll be working together to try to put people up and doing things like that, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm guessing right next to you is maybe a place I could put a sleeping bag. Would that work for you? Maybe I could sleep on the floor.
Sure. I don't know. Big spoon, little spoon.
We'll have to get Steve Rico involved. He kind of has the official title there. Yeah, so if someone were to come out there, of course they got to play De La. You know, that's a no-brainer.
Yep.
If they go a little bit north, Golden Gate Park
Francisco.
up in San Francisco seems to be a no-brainer. And then obviously they're going to be able to practice the course Friday leading into the St. Jude event. Name another course or two in that area if you got to play one or two additional courses while out there for a few days.
Well, I think our biggest gem besides La Viega is definitely Pinto Lake championship course. Another Tom Schott designed. It's his baby now. He's out there bi-weekly mowing the place. It's beautiful. You can go there and have the whole place to yourself. It's awesome. And this time of year, it's amazing. It's mowed fairways, and yeah, it's Pinto Lake, and then all the world's courses, CSUMB with the Oaks and the Cypress, Ryan Ranch down in Monterey. All four of those courses are very worthy of playing, and they're all very unique. So, and then if you're up in San Francisco, another great one over the Golden Gate Bridge is Stafford Lake. Yeah, just in Auto, just north of San Francisco. It's epic. Great views, long shots, rolling oak hills.
Yeah, I was just going to say a good friend and huge supporter in Bill Sherman, who's also our host for the 2011 Worlds.
Yeah, Bill.
He's an amazing guy, and I've seen some of the photos that have come from Stafford Lake, and I'm dying to get up there, and that seems like a place that I would need to play, along with in San Francisco.
You go pay the $10 parking fee and stay, bring some lunch and spend the whole day there. It's awesome. You'll probably see wild turkeys and hawks and all kinds of neat stuff.
So we have, of course, we have some great people on the board. Our usuals: AJ Risley, Nick Lelm, Steven Shimonin.
Yep, we did see EMAC chime in.
Jay.
Yeah.
San Diego house.
EMAC and all the others.
So a couple questions from the board. One, what kind of touring plans do you have this summer? As far as what do you plan on hitting the NTs? Are you gonna stay local, or what's your plan?
Well, my plan is to sign up for the tournaments when they open up, so that way at least I get in and have the option.
We'll get into that later.
Year, everybody knows, and I definitely pay attention. I've learned to pay attention and try to make sure everybody I know knows when the registrations are open too, because that's a big deal. But I just registered for the Beaver State Fling. Stoked to be in that one.
Good.
Nice.
I had the King of the Lake coming up the weekend after that, and that's in June. So I'm pretty sure I'll do those two, but I don't know. I might head east after Beaver State Fling. I'm signed up for the Ledgestone also. I've never played in Illinois, and definitely one of my goals is to play in a new state every year, and so I'm going to play in Illinois this year for sure. And then been to Pittsburgh before, and I love those courses, so hopefully I'll do a Worlds through Ledgestone type of tour.
Okay. And
once November hits, it's good to be in California. There's a lot of good tournaments happening around here, so yeah, I'm still trying to figure out and iron out the details of what I'm going to do this summer. And of course, there's the Vibe Room, which is pretty much my favorite tournament, best tournament to go to. It's a disc golf festival, really. It's awesome. And so trying to figure out how I'm going to fit that one in the next two. I might just fly out and do that one, but yeah, I know you can't do them all, but I'm going to try to play at least 4 or 5 of the NTs this year, and then whatever else connects the dots.
Okay.
I want to try to get 20 in this year. I've never played 20 tournaments in a year, and there's a little incentive for me to play 20 tournaments, so I'm going to try to do that.
Sweet. One of the questions that I have, and I didn't see this on the board, but I will say, as Dana just mentioned, he would pick you in one of his foursomes if he had kind of a dream foursome to assemble. How is it that you remain, what is your demeanor and your mentality and your mindset when you're going into a round of golf? How do you stay so chipper and have so much fun? I mean, there's a lot of pressure and frustrations that can happen on the course, but you're very well known for always having a good time. How do you do that, and how do you recommend others maybe follow suit?
Well, thanks for those kind words. I appreciate it. I definitely felt a little challenge at the Memorial. I know my first round, I didn't remember to have as much fun, but I think that it's just who I am. I've been a golfer my whole life, and I think the biggest part about being a golfer is what makes it awesome is it's an individual sport that, when done right, it's done harmoniously with 3 other people, and it's like you can encourage the other people and to do well, and they encourage you, and it's just like I love to go out and play with, you know, and have everybody do well, and it's more fun when you're having fun, you know, and try not to take yourself too seriously, you know, and that's something I try to remind myself if I ever find I'm straying from that path. It's just, you know, don't take yourself so seriously. If you want to remember.
Now you're rated, I think I last looked, this is maybe a Dana remark, but I think you're rated 1,008 from what I last
Sounds about right.
researched you when I was hunting down some more of your details. But do you feel there's anything in your game that jumps out as you is, we'll say, both your strong suit, and then reverse that and say, what do you feel like you need to work on most in order to improve your game?
I guess I think one of my strong suits I would say is my mental game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think and most of that is just the fact that I've done it for so long, and I played competitive golf, and then I was a head case and a wreck at that. But just, you know, 15 years later after doing that, I've learned to control the brain, and I'm controlling my breathing. You know, I think it's a really good, important thing to stay relaxed, and you know, and then as far as strengths go, I would say I'm pretty accurate. I'm, you know, and I'm a good putter. Sometimes I'll be putting them in from wherever, but it's disc golf though. It's like sometimes your driving's great, sometimes your putting's a little off, and sometimes it all comes together just right. But I would say that, you know, mostly it's probably known for my putting and being pretty accurate.
What do you need to work on? What do you think if you wanted to become 1038 rated?
I come back from Fountain Hills, I always realize that I don't throw far enough.
Okay.
I think, or maybe working on when it's something that are holes that are 450 and stuff like that. It's just throwing my shot and not trying to get that whole 450, but just playing my game and giving myself that 40-foot putt, which
sure.
I can make a lot of the time. And that's something that I was on my long 12-hour drive back from Arizona. I was thinking about.
Yeah, that can be.
I played that front nine at Fountain really well, but that back nine where it airs out, where most of the guys I'm competing with are like, oh, it's like for me, I'm kind of trying to throw it too hard, and I'm like having long up shots to these holes where most guys are birdieing. So I think that big challenge is, you know, staying within my game, and you know, I'm pushing 40 now, so I don't think I'm really going to be throwing much further anymore. I'm kind of a realist with that, but I can throw far enough and just stick with that and play my own game. That's definitely something that I got to remember to do.
Are you just said you're pushing 40, but are you looking forward to Masters, or, you know, being 1,008 rated? You're obviously very competitive in any open field. Are you kind of secretly or otherwise looking forward to Masters, or no?
Yeah, anybody who knows me, I'll hint to it. Next year I'll have that option. So I travel a lot around with my good friend and teammate John Baldwin, and he's been playing Masters for a good 6-7 years now.
Not to date him or anything.
Not to date him, or
it's
you know,
kind
the
of
fact
like
that he's a world champion in
yeah,
Masters.
and there's a lot of those guys I don't get to play with anymore because they're playing Masters. I look forward to playing with, and also just this was the first year I actually looked. So I'm like, all right, I got 27th at the Gentlemen's Club and 42nd at the Memorial.
What would you have taken in Masters? You know,
I would have third in both tournaments in Masters. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely something that in bigger tournaments I will be doing next year.
And that can go either way.
Hitting all the NTs, and I know I'm not the only one turning 40 next year. Who's like my buddy Don Smith, we're the same age, and Jeffrey Yunker, I think is the same age. He lives around here.
Yep.
I know the Masters division gets more and more competitive, and I look forward to having that option of playing with those guys next year.
We're not far behind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got like those pushovers, you know, like Schultz and Climo. I mean, they're all Masters age. I mean,
Patrick
right?
Brown. And,
Yeah, some Redding.
Redding.
I mean, all those easy pushovers and Masters, right? Do you find that you hear people saying things like that, and maybe, you know, excluding those names, but people are like, oh, you know, I'm going to dominate when I get, you know, we've had a lot of people say, I'm going to dominate when I get to Masters. You know, I can't cut it here in Open, but I'm going to dominate in Masters.
Because I'll be the young gun. They're all like in their mid-40s. But me, I'll be 39 or 40.
Yeah. Do you hear people say that and just kind of laugh that off?
Yeah, I know better than to have any expectations. So.
Yeah, it's with the caliber of play that's currently in the Masters field, there's no easy victories by any means there.
I think we've discussed it off camera before, how we're hitting that generation gap, not gap, I guess that's not the word, maybe a spike in that generation where a bunch of us our age kind of picked up golf, and there's going to be more and more Masters players. We're seeing it locally where we're seeing a big surge in Masters, and even, you know, a smaller surge in Grandmasters and things like that, just because there are people our age that are starting now to move that maybe weren't there 10 years ago.
Well,
and the age change it was 10, 15 years ago
at
already.
least. Yeah, no, and exactly to that point. I think it'll be interesting as the Masters field continues to grow.
Yep.
It's just so competitive. I guess that's all I can really say about it. It's just going to continue to get more and more competitive. But what I guess I was thinking about originally was thinking like Eric McCabe, 3 to 4 years off of that.
Yep.
Avery Jenkins, 3 to 4 years off of that. Dave Felberg, 3 to 4 years off of that. There's a lot of people in that class of 96, so to speak, you know, high school class of 96, like us, that are just 3 to 4 years off of that Masters age, and all those people I just named as world champions. It's gonna be funny to see who shifts into that, and do they go, you know, do they jump into that pool, or do they, you know, kind of
dip their toes, maybe look at the fields and see, you know, if there's 100 Open players and only 20 Masters, where do they have a better chance and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are all things you get to look forward to.
Yes, like I said, I'll have options. I like options.
Good to have options. So talk a little bit. I see you've decorated a little bit more since we tested our call yesterday. That special,
I just switched sides.
That special moment we shared on Skype. Talk a little bit about what you got behind you and what it means to you.
Well, yeah, this is my little shadow box of Steady Ed minis, with all his various business cards minis that he's had over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty awesome. I got a couple of signed ones, and yeah, it's something I put together, and it's I don't really. That's one of the few things that I collect. A lot of my inventory is liquid, but this stuff isn't. This is very important to me. And then here's the new putter that we've named after Steady.
Yeah.
Here, take a look at that.
Debuted at the Memorial Championships.
Is that what you're going to be putting with?
Sold out like that, and they're awesome. I've been putting with the same mold and for a long time, so it's a little bit more overstable, but it has great glide, and it's awesome off the tee. Has good grip, and it's pretty much a winner. It will make its way in my bag. It already has as like a throwing putter up shots, but yeah, I figure this year it'll probably end up being my primary putter too, because it's pretty awesome. So you can throw it with a lot of confidence. If you like to putt hard, if you like to hyzer putt, if you like to anhyzer putt, it's a winner.
So talk a little bit about your relationship with DGA, and were you have the Steady putter, were you ever fortunate enough to meet Steady at all, or being in that area?
Unfortunately not. I was definitely in the area when he was around. He moved here in the 90s, the late 90s, I believe, and I basically took a disc golf hiatus, I want to say, from about 97 to 2001, 2002.
Okay.
I hurt myself playing and kind of just didn't play for a long time afterwards, and came back and all the discs were different. All the plastic.
Yeah, they do that every couple of years.
Just kind of recently passed away when I had just started playing De La Viega a lot, and got to hear a lot of great stories about him, and you know, have a friend that grew up across the street from him who doesn't even disc golf, and she has such wonderful things to say about him. And a lot of mutual friends who know I'm a disc golfer, who knew him, have reached out to me because of that. And it's awesome. I've never met him, but I definitely feel like I know him. You know?
Sure. Yeah, well, that area and your sponsor and whatnot, that's a huge part of it. I mean, he's a huge part of our history in general. But so go into a little bit about your relationship with DGA. You're obviously a sponsored player. What do you have? What's in your bag? What are you throwing? What's your distance you're throwing? Things of that nature.
Well, I pretty much have an all DGA bag, except for I do throw a nuke a little bit for distance.
Okay.
We have the Torrent now, which is even faster than a nuke, and
Yeah.
I've been really, it takes a little bit while for a disc to get in my bag, but I'm really enjoying it. I just found a new one that I can actually crank on a little harder, like I can a nuke. So I kind of was like, found out that disc could replace my nukes. And then I putt with a reef, and then my main mid range is an Aftershock, and a Squall is pretty much the most awesome disc ever made. It's in between a fairway and a mid range. It's kind of a anomaly mutant disc, but it's a great beginner disc. It's a great advanced player disc. Rogues is kind of a control fairway, fast fairway driver I use. Undertow, I have a undertow that I kind of use. That's another fairway driver. It's a little bit more overstable than a Rogue. And then breakers for upshots, overstable putt and approach. It's pretty much our most popular mold now. And,
Yeah, we played with those a couple years ago at the Memorial when they first came out with John Baldwin, and those are some really stable. That's some really stable plastic right there. That's a lot of fun.
They are. They're fun, and it's nice because it's kind of an overstable disc that most arms can throw, like a Gator.
Yeah.
It's a little too overstable for most people. A lot of people love them, but it's kind of like
It's consistent.
Yeah, it's a great disc. It really is. You can crank on it and depend on it. If you throw hard, they go pretty straight with a nice little fade. But if you're more of a medium thrower, they just have a nice predictable left fade. And then also Hurricanes. Can't forget Hurricanes. It's pretty much the go-to driver for anywhere from first flights that are really kind of flippy and glidey to my Flex Hurricanes, which is pretty much the most overstable disc in my bag.
Sure.
And yep. And then here, one second.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
This is my favorite disc right here.
All right.
This is a first run Squall. It's orange. If you happen to have one that's like 177,
Wow, he's making a pull.
I knew right where he was going with this.
Did you?
I got lots of discs. I'll trade you pretty much anything for one.
What year?
We gotta put that out there,
What year did the Squall come out? Do you know what
was that?
Do you know what year the Squall came out offhand?
2005.
2005.
Yep, my good buddy that I turned on to disc golf, probably like a year or two before that, when they came out, he saw it on the shelf and he bought me one for my birthday, and that's my third one of those, and there's been one in my disc for over 10 years now. That exact mold.
Okay.
So I needed another one.
So anyone's got Squalls stashed away, Shasta's
Orange.
looking for them.
I'm picky. It needs to be orange and max weight.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I was gonna say because I know at 2007 Worlds we had a bunch of sparkle Squalls. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah.
To give away baskets.
Give away baskets.
Those-
And I know
That's the other Squall I have in my bag, is the older Sparkle Squall too.
Yep.
Those are the closest to the first runs actually in
Yeah,
flight.
I know I've got a couple hanging around
have
somewhere.
some hidden.
Yeah.
Since Seti is always saying we don't ask his questions, which is incorrect, but we're going to ask the question here. He said, what did you injure, and was it a direct result of throwing discs? You'd spoken
When you
earlier.
took your little break.
Hiatus? Yeah, it was. I was still a pretty casual disc golfer, I would say. I mean, I was pretty good, but I went out without playing for a long time, without stretching, and just threw a lot, and I basically threw my shoulder out. Yeah, it hurt bad for like a month. So I kind of, it was a wake-up call. I'll never go and throw full ever anymore. I always make sure to throw at least 5-10 shots kind of in succession up to full shots, just because yeah, I think it's important just to warm up anyways, and that's yeah. I was young and dumb and just trying to throw too hard and hurt myself, and then
Yeah, I think
then I got into golf again and other things, and yeah.
we were all young, and I think we all used to go out and just think we were invincible and just, you know, walk up to hole one without warming up and like, I can chuck it 400 feet. What are you talking about? You know, and then the next.
And that's how hole one is too at the La Viega.
Yeah.
It's 400 feet hill and
Exactly.
I'll just throw it hard.
With a Mando, I heard.
Yeah. All right, Shasta. So I guess we'll skip a pro tip later tonight. I think that would be a very adequate one right there. Shasta telling you go out and stretch and get warmed up. Do some. I know at the Memorial, I watched both Dana and Paul Oman. I think they got all out yoga moves going on in our house.
What's up, guys?
They
We gotta
were
get a session going before a tournament sometime.
yeah, I definitely think we should not film you guys doing yoga, but you guys should do it to get warmed up.
There are other golfers I'd film doing yoga before you guys, but no, and that's and with that, watching last year when we were at Maple Hill, we stayed at the house. We stayed at Steve Dodge's house, and Nate Doss would come in every day and do his stretches. Usually a couple hours before his round. He has this nice, it looks like almost like a rolling cylinder. He just sits and stretches out his back and his arm, and he does it for a good half hour every morning before the round. So, you know, that's not just hot air. Actually,
Yeah.
you know, get out and do it. It will help your game.
Yeah, we see
That
more and more
is-
golfers doing that. All right, Shasta, before we let you go tonight, we're going to give you one besides your 2005 First Run Orange Max Weight Squall plug. Any other plugs or final things you'd like to say before we let you go tonight, buddy?
Plugs. Well, if you're around Santa Cruz, in the first Saturday of April, we are doing a new thing. I'm going to be a guest TD, and we're going to make it the Fancy Pants Monthly.
Okay.
So wearing fancy pants, shorts, skirts, anything in that nature is encouraged. There'll be prizes for the fanciest. There'll be a CTP that only fancy pants people can play in, and I think you get a mulligan if you're wearing fancy pants. So another fun thing to do at the La Viega. We're changing up a little bit, and yeah, that'll be the first Saturday in April. That's where I'll be.
Okay. And sponsors, obviously you've talked about DGA, who
Definitely give it up for Miles at
Paragon.
Mhm.
Awesome. He can pretty much print anything on anything. So, and yeah, it's great for bag tags, that kind of thing, club packages. And then Disc Golf Association, DGA, they got my back big time. It's awesome to have them. Scott, Derek,
Yeah, there was a
Tater,
rumor.
Josh, all y'all down there. I got to give it up to Raina and SoFly. We got there's my seat cushion here. They can custom make you whatever you need. It's a knee pad, seat cushion, pillow. It's also my cart cover. So give it up to SoFly and Paul Kinney. And yeah, those are my sponsors.
Yeah, there was a rumor that DGA was going to send you to Australia to hand deliver the basket that we gave out last week.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, so talk to Scott Kesey about that and make sure he books you on that flight.
Trying to make a special little box for this basket.
I would like to see you strap.
Australian championships didn't coincide quite right. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I'd like to see you strap a Mach X on your back and then just take that right through security and hop on a plane.
If you break that down,
That's
can
pretty
that,
great. I
can
haven't
that be a
asked
carry-on?
I have a feeling that's going to be the first Mach X in Australia, probably the Southern Hemisphere, but I'm not sure. But I'll check in on that one. But
Yeah, that's actually a good
and
point.
that's a long way to ship 100 pounds, but that's awesome.
It is actually. Now, we were going to talk about it a little later, but we can briefly touch on it now. I emailed Jason this week, the guy who won, and he had said it was going to run like $585 Australian dollars to ship it, just to ship it, air. So instead, now he is actually looking into sea freight, more or less, and he thinks he can get it down to about $200 to ship. And then him and DGA are going to work something out, because I wanted to follow up and make sure everything was good with him and whatnot. But
pretty much the furthest person away.
We
it happens
we
for a
nailed
reason.
it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, we nailed it. So if he does do it sea, He might not get it till September, but he'll still get it at some point.
Hopefully by Christmas next year.
That's right.
Sweet. All right, Shasta. Well, we appreciate you joining us on the show. We appreciate you always logging in and checking out the action here. You're a great attitude and a smiling face, and we love seeing you on the message board and supporting what we're doing. And we hope to see you on some leader cards. And we'll be watching what you got going on, making all those putts from inside 40 feet when you don't drive all the way to the basket. Does that sound good?
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. It was,
All right.
it was a good time.
Thank you so much. Have a good night,
Thanks,
Shasta.
pal.
See you next time.
Yep. And as we said, Shasta Chris from Team DGA, also Team Paragon, and well, I'm plugging our pal Miles over at Team Paragon,
Sure.
the owner. Miles doesn't know this, but I think he's going to jump on board with the Team Disc Golf Guy St. Jude event.
Okay.
And for every person that donates $100 or more to my team, Miles and I are going to work on getting a shirt sent out to you. We'll get a Smashbox or a Disc Golf Guy or a Skyline, some kind of branded shirt. So every person that goes out there donates $100 or more. Count on some, maybe we'll just refer to it as a swag pack coming from Miles and Paragon. So thank you, Miles, for your sponsorship. I know I just made that up on the spot, but that's we appreciate
That's
you.
what we do here. We're on the spot flying.
We appreciate you supporting the whole St. Jude effort. We saw that you just made a donation to Dana. So we know that
I'm
you're
sure
gonna,
yours is coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna
sure.
click. I don't see it, but swag pack coming from Paragon for every person donating $100 or more to Team Disc Golf Guy for the St. Jude event.
Yep.
All right. Well,
that guy is universally loved. Shasta.
Miles
And Miles, but Shasta in general.
Yes, he is.
He's just
and he should be.
yeah. He's not. I was gonna say one of the few good guys out there, but we have a lot of good guys out there.
No, we do.
But he is one of the top.
Well, like so many of our players have said in experience, and myself, even not playing with him, his smile and his demeanor is infectious. You know, we think of a Zoe Andike, who we've going to be working with more here on the show. It's just hard to not have a good time when you're around him.
Yeah.
And he's always funny and cracking jokes, and I don't know if I've ever seen him in a bad mood. I don't think I want to, but I've never seen him really in a bad mood. So it's, again, great guy to be around, and maybe he could be in your dream foursome like Dana's.
No.
maybe not. All right. Is Terry wearing a purple Skyline shirt as an undershirt? No, I've got
some sort of.
It's a different Skyline
pattern.
shirt.
Oh, is it a Skyline?
Well, I've got my King
Most of your
sweatshirt.
stuff is branded at this point.
Yeah, that's a Skyline shirt, and then I've got another Skyline shirt underneath that, Ben. So,
wow.
Sorry, and I'm not even sporting them all, so you can see it. But Sarah used a video of you trying to recreate your flick and forehand, ruined my elbow for 3.5 weeks. I'm guessing Sarah Hokum. Yes, Sarah Hokum has chimed in and unfortunately said it doesn't look like you broke down the video correctly if it ruined your elbow for 3.5 weeks. It seems to work for her.
Yeah, she has no problems throwing forehand.
None whatsoever.
How far? I saw her pop up on the board. I wonder how far is she into her 100 days?
She's done with it.
Is it? Is that done?
She's got to be. Yeah. If you went back and did the math, yeah, she's definitely done with it.
Okay. I wasn't sure exactly if we were getting near the end.
I'm just going to assume she made the rest of her putts, and I'm going to assume she finished out around 98% on the whole 100 days. That's going to be my guess. Right, Sarah?
Okay.
I'm sure Sarah, yeah. All right, so let's go real quickly. We're going to go through a few social media / news around the sport. Some of this we've already touched on indirectly, but let's go through a few other things.
There's been a couple people whining on Facebook, I guess we'll say.
No, that's what Facebook's for, right?
That's what Facebook's for. Yeah, it's about the events, about getting into events and filling the events this year seem to be filling up faster than normal. We seem to have a bigger. I don't know what it is about this year, but the events are filling up quicker, and that's good. And if you don't get in, that's not bad. That's too bad for you.
Yeah, no.
You need to either. Somebody said you need to either up your rating, so you're part of the elite tier, or be on the ball. Yeah,
and events have capacities, and I don't know. I've been around long enough and been a TD long enough that pre-registration is so critical. Blah blah blah. All those amazing things that go along with it. And now we're seeing almost the reverse of that, in that some pre-registration's opening and then it's literally closing within minutes because so many people are registering. And obviously we talked about this with the Memorial a few months ago. Events are moving to tiered registrations. The St. Jude had it. The Beaver State Fling has it at the moment. The Ledgestone had a couple extra early days for $9.90 and above. So tiered registrations, that's certainly one way that's trying to address it. And even that is challenging.
Yep. And
that speaks volumes of the events if your event is selling out within minutes.
Especially when they're tiering it.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes some events just simply are not going to hold every good player.
Correct.
I mean, the Beaver State Fling, I believe, has only a 22 or so spots left, and they've only opened it, I believe, to 1,000 and above. Might have been 1010. I think it's 1,000. Okay. They've only opened to 1,000 and above rated players right now, and it only has 22 spots that remain. There's already a really solid field. Yeah, there's 22 open spots, I believe, that remain.
I know they opened it up to all women,
regardless which sold out almost instantly.
Correct, yeah, because I saw Juliana was on, of all people, she said she was waffling on whether or not to play. She kind of finally decided to get in. Then she wasn't an official, had to take her officials test, but by the time she took her officials test, tried to sign up, it was full. Now, she said the good thing is she can get into Masters. The open women was full, but she could go into Masters and play that, so we'll have to kind of follow up on that. But yeah, and that's also part of it. Make sure you're an official.
Yeah,
so that's a big part of it these days. So
yeah, I believe it was 6 p.m. yesterday. We're going to double check here, and then obviously there was conversation last week. The Ledgestone event opening up. There again, being a first time, yes, we've talked forever about adding $65,000 to the pro purse, and everybody thought it was going to be successful, but nobody thought that this would considerably sell out within seconds on some of the divisions.
I would have at 65,000, and even the advanced players pack that he had, I would have predicted that. I would have predicted within a half hour.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. It says Phase 1 was March 9th. 1,000+ rated players opened at 6 o'clock. I'm guessing that's going to be fully sold out then by the time that... Here, I'm going to punch in...
By the time it does like 970 and above, I think is what the next tier
I don't know, but there's not going to be any spots available at that point.
How are you ever going to play?
I guess I'm not. I'm okay with that. Hopefully we're going to cover it in some capacity, although live, just so everyone knows.
Yeah,
so people keep asking about our schedule. Live is not...
It's not on the table out there because they play at, if you notice, Milo. If you notice, Worlds never once filmed out there because it's pretty remote and the cell signal out there is absolute garbage. So unfortunately, some of the nicest courses have that restriction where the cell signal is just no good, so you cannot get live coverage. So as long as they keep playing there, which I don't see them moving because they're such well-renowned courses, there's just not going to be live coverage out there probably in the next couple of years.
Yeah. So I've done some math, I think, and it says that there were 80 open spots available for Beaver State.
Okay.
And with a little more than 24 hours. And again, it only opened to 1,000+ rated players. Okay. There's only 24 spots remaining, so 56 open players.
56,000+ rated open players signed up, right?
Yeah.
Ouch. That's not a field I even want to get into at this point.
Even if you could.
Yeah. Even if they gave me an exemption and said, John, we love what you're doing at SmashBoxx. We want you to come out and play, and write a huge blog about it. I'd laugh at them. I'd be like, no.
Yeah,
you'd have to fly me out there, put me up in hotel and whatnot. And I don't think they're doing that. No,
they're not. So it's tough, and we see people saying that. Well, there's no perfect way to do it, and
there's not. I think this is the most perfect way you can get at this point.
Is tiering it, giving some people a little extra time,
giving the top guys.
And if it sells out with all 1,000 rated players, I know Jamie Mosier. Well, Jamie Mosier, for instance, was saying, we saw him very vocal on the Facebook, saying that he's touring around a ton.
Yep.
Which he is. He's playing in a lot of different events, and he's rated 968, and then he had some conversation about his rating, but that's besides the point. He's rated 968, and he's touring around the country a lot, trying to play every weekend. Sorry, Jamie.
Find a different place. Unfortunately, find a different place to play.
Yeah, we're not picking on you, but you're the one that was posting about it. But sorry. Like, if there are 80 players at the Beaver State Fling that are rated 1,000 and above, and that thing sells out, with that, That is one of the most competitive fields we've ever seen in our sport.
Wow.
And that's what our national tour is about.
That's what they should be. That's what everyone's been complaining about. There used to be arguments where when it was just wide open and people would sign up and they were 930, 940 rated, people would yell, hey, let's bump them for the 1,000 rated players. And we said it wasn't fair. You can't do that. The 1,000 rated players need to get on the ball. Well, now that we are allowing just the 1,000 rated players, who do you bump? And who do you not kick out? But there's only so much capacity. You can't, if you don't get in. It's unfortunate you're a touring pro and you may be touring with some 1,000 rated players. Mm-hmm. You're just gonna have to suck it up and maybe find somewhere else to play for that weekend, or I don't know, volunteer.
Yeah, no,
that's not the worst thing in the world either. Go be a spotter somewhere.
Yeah,
it's not. It's no matter what you think, it's not beneath you.
I would love to see a 1,025 rated spotter.
Yeah,
like who's not injured.
Well, we've seen it before where people get upset at spotters. Yeah. Because they don't know what they're doing. We've seen people scream at spotters and yell at them about how can you not see where my disc did it cross over? Where did it go out of bounds? You know what? And these are people who are volunteering, who don't know the sport as well as you and I. If you don't get into an event and you really want to be there, volunteer. Be that 1,000 rated or 950 or 980 rated spotter, and then some of the other pros may not have a complaint. Because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Also, of course, talking about Masters Cup, I believe the registration for that just opened. I think that is already has sold out or oversold within a very short period of time. So we're seeing these national tours. Another comment that we've seen frequently out there is saying, well, I don't have $1,000 to pay for my next 5 or 8 or 10 tournaments, which are 10 months away. Again, like that's the name of the game. You
have, I feel like I'm picking on pros a little bit now, but guess what? You had all winter. Yeah. You know that if you're playing next year, put a couple bucks away every week. I mean, it sounds silly, but budget. If you don't have that kind of money right away, talk to a sponsor, find a sponsor, or all winter long that you're probably going to play. You should be looking forward to that. You can't show up a week before all these events start opening and go, oh my God, I have no money. I can't, how can I sign up for $750 worth of events? You just have to suck it up and find a way.
Sarah Holcomb's out on the board talking about women in age protected play the weekend before or after open men fields of 300. That's not crazy to say, Sarah. That's actually a great suggestion. However, the underlying factor there is 95% of the tournament directors in the disc golf world are volunteers. And if you need 50 volunteers to put on a really good event for a weekend, and then you want to have them all there playing on that weekend, now you need to separate that and put them on a different weekend, and you now need to get another 50 volunteers for the amateur or the other weekend. So that's one of the challenges why you can't do that.
Definitely not picking on Sarah, but then we're going to start seeing complaints from the women saying, well, how come our event isn't up to snuff with last week's event? You're going to see inevitable, and it's not Sarah because we love Sarah, but we have seen people complain about the women's payouts, about women's this and that. And if suddenly the PDGA or an event, sorry, not the PDGA, an event is putting on a sub, I don't want to say subpar because that's not the right term. Well, but if it's not up to caliber with the rest of the event from the last weekend, you may see complaints from that way. And obviously, like you said, and the volunteers on top of that, having to pull all those people for another weekend is
may not
really
be feasible.
Tough. It's really tough.
May logistically not be feasible.
Exactly.
So, an event may spend $5,000 in reservations.
Yeah. Now you need to reserve the courses for 2 weekends. It would be phenomenal if we could do it. I would love to see it. We're just not at that point yet.
No, it's tough. There's no right answers.
There's no right or
necessarily.
wrong answer.
There's no right or wrong answers, but these are some of the things that are definitely getting talked about out there. Yep. I understand the hardships that a lot of these touring players are going through.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of their hardships frequently. I understand them, and also from a TD's perspective, where I also wear that hat. Some things just aren't as easy or as practical as some people throw out. I know one of the conversations that keeps coming up, for instance, at the Ledgestone event is, we'll just add more courses. and I'll tell you, because I know what Nate is dealing with over at the Ledgestone event. He's already maximized as many courses as he can. Yeah. I think he's already had in place a temporary course.
Let me ask you, how well did just adding another course go for the Memorial?
It wasn't loved by everyone.
Really?
That's what I heard.
Huh.
So just adding another course, that's not always
Yeah.
the easiest solution.
I thought it looked cool. I thought the course looked decent. I thought it looked nice. There was
Oh,
a
it
lot.
is.
There was a lot of like say backyard holes. A couple, not a lot, maybe 4 or 5 little dinkers. But I thought the course itself was good. But we saw people complain about just adding other course. There's only so many NT caliber courses in an area.
Yeah.
Before you start, people then are going to complain, and we know people are always going to complain about the caliber of the extra course. And
Well, what I'd be curious to know is who did anyone that got in after the second wave of invites or the second invite, were any of them the ones that were complaining? Because
hard to say.
yeah, that's just it. And there's no perfect solution or right answer to it all, but these are all part of our growing pains.
Yep.
You can't blame any one organization or
Can I blame
any one
Alan
TD.
Thicke?
Yeah, Alan Thicke. Yeah.
Yeah. Growing pains.
Yeah, you could.
Mike Seaver.
Seaver and the Boner and Tracy Gold and the rest of them.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what it's all part of. So we'll see. It's interesting. It's a debate that will rage on. And again,
For years.
I get a little worked up only because I've been a tournament director myself and run, I think, a little over 100 PDGA tournaments.
You like to get worked up a little bit.
I do get worked up, but it's when people post things that just because you can type it on Facebook doesn't mean it's the perfect solution.
No, actually, I like that. I think more people should just post their mind to Facebook without thinking, because it gives us more to talk about.
So some interesting stuff out there. And again, we're seeing it. So Beaver State Fling, Ledgestone, as well as the Masters Cup, all full, or getting there, I should say.
It's
Beaver
close.
State's got a little bit of work to do. I know Beaver State is trying to. There was a discussion about having more women's spots. Because they did go so quickly.
Yeah.
And if that's something that they can make happen, great. We kind of talked about this. Yeah, it's actually, I'm not even going to go into it. There's so much more to it that it's probably not even worth getting into. I just already touched on Miles and the St. Jude sponsorship. Again, $100 donation to Team Disc Golf Guy on the St. Jude sponsorship will get you a swag pack from Miles and Paragon and us over at Smashbox. So thank you to you guys there. Wow, I think we're gonna have some exciting announcements next week. Not to leave you with a tease and all, but we're gonna have some pretty big time and exciting.
Are we having a baby?
No, it might look like I am.
Me too.
I get asked, how far along am I? But no, I'm not. We're not.
Are we getting married?
Can we do that in Wisconsin?
Yes, I think we can. Yes, we can legally now.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Huh.
No, I don't think we're getting married.
Okay. I'm trying to think of other cool announcements.
People have asked us before.
Yeah, that's not a. Yeah, that's maybe.
We will certainly touch on again. He's a huge supporter. A couple other quick events in that. Matt Seary has broke the $10,000 added cash mark, which is I just know he's been working so diligently on it.
I feel bad. Like that is such a big amount, and it just gets overshadowed this year by like oh 10,000. Ooh, how come you're not the Ledgestone?
Yeah,
but
well,
10,000 is a huge amount for added cash. Like
it is.
Just a year or two ago, people would be screaming like, "You got to get to this event," and 10,000 is a big amount.
Yes. So exciting stuff for Matt Seary, and what's even crazier on the Facebook.
Sure.
Matt Seary posting his tattoo.
I did not see that.
You can't miss it.
Is it like on his face?
No.
That would be a place like Mike Tyson.
You should pull it up there on the Facebook real quick. Just type his name in. You should see it. Matt, of course, the owner of Heiserbaum.
Heiserbaum. Does he have like Heiser and Bomb? That was what I would do if I.
Just go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Matt Seary, S-I-R-I.
This is great radio. Whoa, oh, I did see this.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God,
That's what I'm talking
I didn't
about.
even look at it. Wow.
Huge
Wow.
tattoo.
Does he know he spelt it wrong? I'm just kidding.
His Heiserbaum tattoo literally taking up
His entire forearm.
His entire forearm from pretty much his wrist, all the way almost to
his elbow.
Almost to his elbow. Huge. Yep. Matt Seary tattoo there,
wow.
Heiserbaum. He said something about letting it heal for a few days, and then he's gonna get some color to it. But
okay, wow,
dedicated for sure by Matt.
I'm a guy with no tattoos. That I can't imagine. I once watched a slow motion video of someone getting a tattoo, watching the needle just dig repeatedly. No thanks.
Yeah. He does say $21,000 in pro payout.
Cool.
Again, that goes on with his $10,000 added. And I know that I'm going to be there
Yeah, guess you are.
doing some stuff.
Cool.
So we'll bring you some of that
Look forward to that action.
sweet coverage and action. And then also talking to Patrick Brogdon, I know that I'm pretty sure that the Texas States is in fact sold out. However, he had, or close to selling out. I feel like he had a quick update or two that I volunteered to share with him. This is his one freebie because Patrick's a friend of the show. Sorry, let me see if I can find what he was talking about. I think there was maybe just a few spots.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
Nope.
Are you going to play in the event?
Texas State?
Yeah.
No.
They throw far there, and it's windy.
I know.
No.
I haven't thrown a disc in 4 months, 5 months.
Oh.
Winter will do that.
When are you going to play next? Everybody wants to know. Actually, no one asked me
Nobody
that.
asked. When do I?
But when are you
when
playing
am I
next?
play a round, or when I'm going to play a tournament next?
When are you going to play both? When are you going to? When's your next round of golf going to be?
I was going to play an event, but I had to cancel out. I'm going to end up canceling that one.
Okay. I'm starting up a Wednesday night league in a few weeks.
I know. I usually go to that. And
Uh-huh.
I'll probably, if the weather's nice enough, I'll go.
Oh, you're such a baby.
I know. 50 and above. That's kind of my thing.
All right. So let me just clarify that Patrick Brogdon, talking about Texas State, said 6 spots left for touring
Okay.
pros of the ones that are being held.
Yep.
Other divisions may have a few spots opening, but there is a wait list for a lot of it. So that's the update on Texas State.
Cool.
Which I know is a big event down there.
That is
so.
a huge event. It's only growing year after year. Is that going to be an NT sometime soon?
It might have been at one
It
time.
was last year before?
Yeah, I think I was there last year for the NT.
Yeah.
It was cold and it was windy.
Yeah, I remember that.
It didn't get above 50. I was in Texas twice last year, once in March and once with Matt in December, and neither time did I see 50 degrees.
Wah.
Yeah, whatever. Not cool. All right. Do we have anything else?
I don't think so.
We've definitely
Yeah.
gone on long enough here tonight. I blame you. Is there somebody being naughty on the board?
I think
We
so.
do see things going on the message board. Thank you guys, of course, Brad, who's always tuned in. DG Mike, I know DG Mike is working on some fundraising as well for the St. Jude event. So thank you very much. One thing that I think needs to kind of briefly be discussed is with league happening on Wednesday nights, do we foresee podcasts remaining on Tuesday nights and then still having our league night on Wednesday night? Do you see us
Probably.
moving maybe to Wednesday night podcasting here?
No, Wednesday night podcasting would be a big pain in our butt because we do league, and then our league usually gets done about, let's just say 7:30, 7:45 because we play a nice short course, and then us get back here. I just don't see that happening, and then both of us are away from our families for 2 nights and this and that. So we'll probably stick with Wednesdays. Yeah, families.
No, wait. You just contradict yourself.
No, I'm saying if we did it on Tuesday nights, we'd both, or if we did it on Tuesdays, yeah, it would be Tuesday and Wednesday. We'd both be away, so that's why we're gonna stick with Tuesdays, so we can be away from our families.
Okay. Very unclear there.
Yeah, I wasn't clear.
You will in April. Just played this week for the. What is the deadline for donation? Nicholas Williams says. I'm not sure in terms of the St. Jude event, but definitely please go out there and find Team Disc Golf Guy and $100. Get you a swag pack.
Swag pack.
Or something like that.
Swag.
Next week, show episode 22.
Don't do it.
Maybe we could get her on the show. What? Okay, let me ask you this: would it A, increase our disc golf cred, and B, would it not be an honor to have her on the show?
It would, hands down, it would be an honor, but it would not increase. Well, maybe it would. Would people be impressed that we have?
Yes. I think my Swifty. My Swifty number is like 48,030 or something like that.
Shut up.
So
should we hand out Smashy numbers? Would there be a fight for number 1 or 2 or?
Yeah, it would. We could do Smashbox bag tags. That would be kind of fun.
No.
Oh no, and
there's plenty of bag tags out there already.
Like millions of them.
Yeah.
Like too many of them, which is why we don't do them. I don't do them anymore.
Yep.
We could come up with some stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to end things now. We've got a lot of exciting stuff brewing for you guys next week. We do know that for sure. We're going to have an announcement or two. You know what I thought would be cool is if Scott Kesey from DGA was here not here, but if he'd give us a DGA Mach X to give away every week. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool, but I imagine that'd start to add up. I can't imagine that would work well for their bottom line.
Whatever. I don't know. We will be working with some sponsors to give away some stuff as well.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get more people to go out and like and tweet and Facebook and
do all that good
Twitter
stuff. If this is your first time viewing, go out, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. That's the best way you're going to get notified of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you know, you sent a message out there today asking about how can we notify people of our events.
Yeah.
Because you can only invite so many people to a Facebook event, and then it doesn't get out there. I don't really think there's a good way unless we did do some sort of weekly, like,
reoccurring event or something.
not even a reoccurring event. I was thinking more like an email, like a
Sure.
MailChimp type thing, or I don't know. But people, they'll find us.
All right. Well,
If they want to watch, they'll watch. If they don't want to watch,
some of this sweet action.
yes. Oh, and your obsession with Taylor Swift.
I didn't even mention her that time.
No, I'm just saying in general. That's what you are. So,
All right.
For John Van Deurzen, I'm going to do this time. For John Van Deurzen and Terry, the Disc Golf Guy Miller, thank you for tuning into Smashbox. March 10th, our 21st episode, 2015. What are you laughing at?
I'm excited to hear you finish this.
No, I don't want to finish it now. You
Go
finish
ahead.
It.
No, you got it.
Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next week when you step inside the Smashbox. All right. We could probably stay on here for a little bit.
All right, we're going to do an after show.
We are?
Sure, just for a few minutes. I just stopped the recording. I'm going to restart it up. Actually, I won't. Screw it. All right, we'll stay on for a little bit.
Any interaction we need out there.
That'll be the end of the podcast.
No updates on Macbeth's bag. I could have mentioned that, but no updates on Macbeth's bag. He hadn't said anything, and I hadn't seen anything posted.
Jason P. a Smashbox tattoo. It's crossed my mind. I'll be honest. There is a tattoo place half a block from my house. Just shows you what a good neighborhood I'm in.
I think they open in a half hour at 11
probably.
p.m.
No, when I right before this, when I stepped out, like at 15 minutes before we started, I stepped out to grab a drink. I ran to the gas station just like half a block away, and I saw these two girls stumbling out of a car and
Stumbling into the tattoo place?
Yes, out of the car,
Yes.
through a puddle into the tattoo place. So good decisions were going on at that point.
Yeah, they always are. Benefit 1970. What did you miss? You missed it all, buddy. But you thankfully can go all the way back to the beginning and watch it all from the beginning. It wasn't our smoothest show.
Well, we had a glitch. I think it was a YouTube glitch because nothing on our side looked bad. So it was either YouTube or Time Warner Cable. Everything was set. I've messed things up before, but not this time. It wasn't us. So
I'm not sure about that yet.
no, I fess up when I screw up. I got nothing to hide.
Joe Hyde, are you out there listening in? Our amazing cameraman from the Memorial, Camera 1. Should we just refer to people as Camera 1, Camera 2, not their names anymore?
I had to change it because I would look at our little show here and it'd be like, oh, who's on Camera 1, Camera 2. I had to change it to names, Joe and Gary.
Okay.
Just so I would know. But should we? Yeah, we refer to him as Camera 1.
So, Joe, we're talking about
Brad,
picking up another camera.
You're right.
So.
We didn't do any daily picks. Brad, have you done anything new or different this week?
No.
No. Started watching. Sarah and I went through The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which is from Tina Fey. If you liked 30 Rock at all, which I think is one of the funniest TV shows ever on TV, you would kind of like that. Get through the first episode. So, Johnny, what's the latest
and greatest
app tech book thing? Oh, good question. I don't know. I had a little bit of Apple lust watching the Apple keynote. I don't think I want an Apple Watch.
What's it supposed to do?
It's no different than any of the other Android watches. It just gives you notifications. You don't have to look at your phone. Apple has a cool Apple Pay thing where you can keep your credit card in your phone and just wave it. It works, and it'll go with the watch. They released a new laptop with only one port, like one USB-C port, which almost looks like a USB. It looks a lot like this. That's what the USB-C looks like. It looks like the lightning adapter for Apple, if you don't know what that is. That's the only port that's on there. It does charging, it does USB, it does display.
But you can only have one?
One. They do sell a splitter for $79.
Of course they do.
But I'll say this.
F Apple.
No, it's not Apple. USB-C is going to be on everything. It's just the fact that they only have one. And it's also like the world's skinniest notebook almost, and whatever. And I was really excited for it. I was like, oh, I think I'm going to get that. And then I realized that it's like a really crappy processor, and it'd be about the speed of a 2011 normal notebook. So no interest in it.
Scroll back up. There's a couple good questions out here on the board.
Okay. Here.
Sorry. If you can, I don't know how to work that mousy thing. A couple of good questions that came in. App thing, Big Hug Smashies. Ben Ferris, did you design the blue lake signs? I'm going to guess he did not. No.
Birdie Bash.
No, Birdie Beads are the hottest new technology. Good one, Blind Ace. I like that. Not so much. Are you guys going to be filming at the Beaver State Fling? We have. It was a few months ago. I had reached out to the guys over at the Beaver State Fling. There's something we'd like to do. We have some ideas in the mix. We'll see how busy it is. But as we said earlier on the podcast, excuse me, we for sure will not be live. No one will be live there. Yeah. It's just signal-wise, it's just not possible. Yep. Could something get recorded and then put up? That's certainly in the works.
There'll be plenty of people. I've seen there's a disc golf on Facebook. There's a group for media people that we're part of, and we've seen a couple of people say that they're going to be at.
Yeah, we may or may not be there. We do kind of feel like if there's 4 or 5 or 8 other groups that are talking about being there, maybe it's best for us to hang back for that weekend or take that weekend off or remain local if there's already going to be some other great coverage out there. So that you may or may not see anything from us on the Beaver State. It was amazing to be out there last year for the Worlds, and I'm glad I got to be there, but it may or may not happen this year.
Matt Simpson asks, where's the golden retriever clip with Rico? Am I going to have to cut it out of the memorial video and keep it available when I need a laugh? Actually, I thought about that this week, and I just didn't get around to it. We should really just post that.
Yeah,
someday.
I have that
I have it
somewhere.
I have it too.
I have it better.
You do. You probably have a higher quality version of it.
Yes.
Because then you should put it out there.
Yeah, maybe.
Put it on the Smashbox.
We know.
Site.
Maybe not. Beaver State Fling. I just started using them. Oh, Birdie Beads. Can I donate a disc for you to give away tonight, Terry? I'll ship it to someone in the chat. Well, Trey, I'm not sure that we know you personally, but so we take no responsibility for you. But if you
maybe next week, rather than this.
Well, he could donate one tonight, and then he could donate one next week.
Okay.
All right, Trey, let's come up with a game, and we can donate to someone in the chat. There's still 75 people watching right now. Yeah. So let's come up with a method, and we'll have you give away a disc. We'll work with you on that.
Think of a good way, Trey, or someone in the board think of a good way. I do. Off the top of my head, I do like that St. Jude Ace thing, a week of aces.
Yeah.
St. Jude's week of aces. I think that's a great idea.
It's
proud of myself.
You got one.
I one a year.
A Legend of Zoltar. Put that in your stat sheet. Johnny V's got a good idea.
Mark it down, but 10 days before my birthday.
You should check out Johnny McRae's Twitter. I drew him a picture for It's About Time tour. It'd be cool to be able to be in touch with
Celebrate Pros. Celebrity Pros? I don't know what
you
meant to say there.
Celebrity Pros, probably. Jason, hey man, Steve or Michael?
Pros, okay, yeah.
Steve or Michael? I don't know what that's referencing. Something we might have been talking about early.
Steve Rico or Michael?
No. Where was the golden retriever clip? Yeah. I think I saw you, Luke. You had posted earlier as to who won the Random Beaver Roundup. After I moved the event 2 or 3 different times to accommodate other people who weren't so accommodating. There was a relatively small turnout. Tom Jenkins and I won. There was not an official pro division. Tom Jenkins and I both rated low enough to play in advanced.
Embarrassing.
Squeaked out a win.
You squeaked out a win in advanced?
Yeah. There was no pros.
I know.
And we're hardly pros by definition.
I don't blame you for that anyway. But I saw Sardis ask, when's our next live event? We'll have more info about that next week.
Mm-hmm.
Tease.
Some that we know of, and we got to get this on a schedule, and this might be part of that new website
this is part of the new
we
website.
talked about.
Hopefully
but
we'll have a much better schedule. We'll keep that as up to date as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we are under some NDAs at this point. We can't talk about some things. NDA, non-disclosure agreement. But
Sounds
other
dirty.
than that, we will have hopefully some information for you next week, if not next week, very shortly after.
Yeah, some exciting stuff.
Yeah, there's
Dan
lots of exciting-
Harbeck.
Yeah, we got a couple announcements next week.
I know.
That's
Trust
awesome.
me, I was teasing him.
Yeah.
Dan Harbeck asked about the Silver Cup. Is that an old thing, Dan? Silver? Are you in the gray cup? No. Silver Cup going on in Wisconsin in July. I believe it's the 12th and 13th.
Is he asking about live?
Probably.
coverage?
Johnny V and I will be there playing in it. And then if
Yeah, Dan, it's hard to miss that. This will be our 15th straight.
yeah,
so.
if Jim Van Lannen reaches out to me, I could possibly assemble a coverage team. It wouldn't be live, but we could possibly assemble a video blog team to do some work out there. I really hate to work and play and work, but maybe it could be worked out.
Yeah.
If we come to Beaver State, you will for sure shake our hands. Okay.
Thank you, Benefit.
I'd prefer a hug, but we could do a handshake.
him.
Greater
Kiss
Milwaukee
him.
Open news, just July 4th and 5th. All advanced and professionals play on, or advanced men and professional players will play on Saturday. Everyone else will play on Sunday. I've got
Is Saturday the actual 4th?
Yes, it is.
Ugh.
Yep. Little spoon buddy from Worlds, Ben Ferris. Ben, I hope I get to share a room with you soon enough sometime. I hope your wonderful wife is doing well, better. I think you were feeling sick too. Sorry to hear that. I've got some Girl Scout cookies.
I know. I already ate one of my boxes.
Well, I've got to get some out to Ben and also out
The
to
peanut butter
AJ
patties are
Risley.
so
Thank you for
good.
supporting the
Yeah,
disc golf
if you want to
girl.
support my weight, go ahead and send me those peanut butter patties. I love them. Everyone's throwing numbers out
Yeah,
there.
we're going to find out what that is. People would want to see that. Yes, the answer is 12. Post a number here and use random to generate the winner. Yeah, we need a Shady Oaks, Stokely. Guess how many discs Terry bag? I don't know how many my bag has. The problem is if you post a number, I'm fine with a number. Some clever and not so clever ones out there. If you post a number, we need some parameter as to what to keep it in.
Yeah.
So because if you post number 402, we don't put the numbers up to there.
Yeah.
Des Moines Challenge is open for registration. I believe that's going on probably at the end of May. Anybody?
Yeah, Will. I don't think he would care that we address this. Will's neck issue. It's a skin condition. It's inherited. He's got some sort of family thing. He's discussed it in the past before, so it's nothing that that surprise.
A disc raffle for every 25 paid entrants. I'm confused. Yeah. All right. Anybody got anything more interesting than
Yeah,
that to talk about?
Good.
Okay. Do we have anything else? Yes, your cookies, Ben. Ben, I saw you had a temperature today, buddy. Usually when you send me your temperatures, it's like, oh, it's 68 degrees or 74 degrees
don't
here in
care.
LA, blah, blah, blah. How many negative below is it in Wisconsin, or
It's
how many
actually
below is it?
Relatively nice here today.
But today I think it said 100.8. At first when I got that image, I thought you were sharing a pregnancy stick with me, but it was a thermometer. So, yeah, hope you feel better.
Ferris pregnant? Terry has 12 discs and they're all Ontario rocks.
No. Come on, I throw those, and I love the Ghost. Huge to support the Mad City Open. Yep.
Legacy, thanks.
Say 1 to 100, closest number drawn wins. Says there's 28 watching. No, Ryan, there's
67. It says watching.
almost triple that.
But for some of those, they're probably watching on their TV, and they won't be. They'll have to get in the chat. You have a couple seconds to get in the chat.
Let's put a ending on that. We'll say we'll give it 7 minutes here. 7 more minutes. Us
7?
talking. Yeah. So it'll be
Can we fill 7 minutes worth of air?
Or Brad is saying all the numbers are in. Excuse me, I'm itching my nose.
Yep.
85 people watching. Wow.
86 from what?
There's all sorts of different numbers going around.
86
I wonder if our
watching?
thing doesn't necessarily update and keep it.
It should. I mean, this is just a view, just like anybody else would get. So. 66. I think it's right around 66. I think whoever's at 86 maybe just needs to refresh and they'll watch it drop.
Nick Lelm, why are you leaving Wisconsin again? You're never home in Wisconsin where you belong. Why are you seeing
where you belong?
Ben Ferris at Sunday in Huntington Beach? Seems awfully nice. We didn't really have any. Well, I guess Dana talked about it briefly. Seeing Kale and Will and
out on the
Madison and Paige Pierce, Jeremy Coling,
Ullman,
Paul Ullman, all having a good time out in Florida.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have a week of relaxing and hanging out before they compete in that additional A tier that's taking place.
It's a rough life.
Yeah. Open your.
I've told you this before, but how rude is it?
By lying about viewer counts, yeah. That's what we do.
I see 630. Is that what I see right? No. How rude would it be to talk about and maybe
it could get real rude in a second if you start.
It could be. No, like things like, let's just say Kale, because he's never going to be on the show.
Yeah, he's not.
Never. No, we don't care.
If anyone wants to know why, it's because he stood me up twice.
Stood us up for a not quite blind date.
Yeah.
Terry's offended. No.
Nope. Not enough time for you tonight, Kale.
We know pros scrape by.
Some of them.
Let's say a majority of them, they tend to complain about scraping by week to week, whatever. Can we, how rude is it to ask them, like, what are you doing with the money you win? Other than just invest? Are you investing it? Are you, do you have someone to talk to about finances? You could always talk to we've got a couple financial people on here, but in general, I always wonder that, like, are they squirreling anything away at all? Are they, even some of your, some people that aren't scraping by, what are they doing for the future? And
it's a good question.
And that's not something maybe some people want to discuss, but.
Well, hopefully they're making the right moves and right decisions. We've obviously heard rumors throughout the years of being on the road is very challenging in terms of keeping your finances together, keeping your together.
Yeah.
There's challenges that, not just that you have to be a disc golfer for that, but lots of people have challenges with that because of the nature of what our professionals are doing in terms of playing in different places.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. I know if you do need any financial planning that you should reach out to Don Loper.
I knew that was going there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that always runs through my head thinking, a lot of people are a lot of people dedicate a lot of their time to thinking about the future, 401ks, all that other stuff. And these are things that these guys don't have. What are they doing if things don't pan out for them? In 10 years, if the sport has not grown significantly for them, what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Are they just going to be kind of write off, like, hey, I had a great 10 years, had a lot of fun? Or are they kind of squirreling something away and just not telling anybody about it? I don't know. So those are the things I think of. It just keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
Not really.
Wondering what the financial aptitude of our disc golfers.
Yeah, no, I sleep like a baby.
Somebody asked about the collegiates coverage. I think that was Casey. Casey, I believe that Disc Golf Planet was planning on it. I cannot obviously speak on their behalf for certain.
Yeah, they said they were going to release a schedule soon. They said that right before the Memorial, so we're a couple of us are waiting to watch and see what they have.
Yeah.
I'd like to, all of us would like to know where we can get more live disc golf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something that was said. I think I read that or saw that in multiple places even, that was their plan. So if there's coverage of the collegiates, it will be likely Disc Golf Planet. I can tell you that we are not going to be there.
Not because we don't want to, but just because it hasn't been addressed to us.
Yeah, no.
And they've had it for a while, so.
Mm-hmm. All right, what time do we got? Ooh, 2 minutes. Okay, so we're taking numbers between 1 and 100.
Yep.
And then somebody's gonna have to do the math.
Should we do like a random?
Yeah, it's gonna be a
go
random.
to random.org and just throw something together. I'm not gonna bring it up on screen. I'm just gonna tell you.
Yeah, no, it's not already silencing them by you being on that screen or anything right now.
No, because I haven't changed anything that they see on this side. I'm just looking at over here.
All right, so they're gonna watch us both looking at our computers.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just.
That's fine.
I'm gonna.
So none of this is gonna be available.
No, it'll all be available. I just stopped recording the video portion. That's kind of our video backup. The podcast will get a separate feed.
All right, who's giving this away again? Trey. Trey said it is Trey. Any idea what you're giving away, or you said you're shipping out the disc tomorrow? Go ahead and give us your quick plug.
Yep, Trey, go ahead and throw out there exactly, what you're giving away the disc for or anything.
Ooh, I got to enter a number.
I'm not going to enter a number.
I just did. Hey-o.
So, but Trey, here's what I'm going to do.
Hey, Liz Dories is joining us tonight.
Hi, Liz.
Liz, we're working on your segment too. We're working on a Zoe Andike segment. We're working
Yeah.
on a lawyer counseling segment.
Here's a good question, and I broached this to Terry, but we'll broach it out to the crowd.
Our smashies.
Our smashies. I talked, and I haven't run it past him at all yet. Dana, would it behoove us to push Dana to every 2 weeks so we can fit in a different person, different segment, maybe not an event update, but someone like a Liz or a Zoe or one of our other segments that we're talking about, which we haven't nailed down the people, and maybe push Dana to every 2 weeks so we can fit a different segment in? Or do we want to keep Dana every week because we love Dana and just try to squeeze more people in, or just let the podcast run longer at times? I know an hour and a half is an hour and a half. Do we want to go past that? I don't think after an hour, I don't think it really matters. People are going to listen to us or they're not. So,
Yeah, it's a good question. So, Dana every other week or Dana every week, and then we're talking about adding a few additional segments, like we said. Talking to a local lawyer friend. We've also talked about Collector Corner. That's been a good idea that's been brought to us, as well as a Zoe segment of some sort. Liz Dories has reached out to us. Maybe we can do something with Liz. So we've got a lot of different ideas going on.
Oh, yeah. So I was going to get back to. So, Trey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the number, and then it's your job to look at who's closest.
Yeah.
And then when you announce who the winner is going to be, then you can send it out to them.
Andrew Mulroy, you can have my number 38. I'm not going to make myself eligible. You can have my number 38. All right, so let's go ahead and pick the number.
All right. So,
All right. Do we need to give any final?
I don't think so. I'm just going to push it one time.
Well, I'm going to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and when I say that, people are no longer eligible at that point to enter, but they're behind us. I don't know how that works.
We'll show who the last person is. I think everyone's put their number in already.
All right.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, this
Generate.
is so
28. 28's the number.
Oh, it was 10 off.
28 is the number.
Winner.
So
winner.
Whoever was closest to 28, I'm going to scroll back here, see if I see anyone that actually hit 28.
Of course, you can be over or under.
37 looks pretty good. 26?
26. Ozone discs. Get you some.
I don't know if there's anyone closer. I always bid $1 because that's how I roll.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a 29. Mexico for the win. Might be getting the win there.
What didn't you just say?
Mexico for the win.
It says 29.
29. That's
28. Okay.
Yeah, it's one off.
Yeah, Mexico for the win. Mike Stradley.
Is that who that is?
No, Mike. I don't know. Oh, Mike. No, he said, Mike, you were too late.
Disc golf cribs. That would be kind of interesting. Would that be just people's car? Disc golfers crib. Can you show us what your crib is? And then, this is the passenger seat.
I'm confused.
What are you confused about?
There's a bunch of people still writing numbers.
Well, they didn't have a chance.
SETI, this will be the ultimate silencer of you saying we don't address your questions.
SETI was 28. Is that true?
He says I'm certain I was. All we can do is scroll up and can you do a find? Control F. See if you can do a find in that box.
SETI. SETI, I don't see your thing out there, and mine goes back to all the way to when.
Yeah, you said numbers 1 through 100.
Yeah. When people were saying goodnight to Dana, I'm looking through all these chats. I mean, I personally, I'm not the one that's giving away the disc, so it's going to be up to Trey.
Oh, Brad Aaron says. Brad Aaron's now says pretty. You guys are working together.
Yeah, I really don't care. Ryan Hunt said 27. I saw that. Yeah, I mean, SETI, if you can take a screenshot of it or something, and it's all up to Trey. This is not our giveaway. We're just facilitating it. Thank you, Trey, though.
Yeah, either way, thank you, Trey.
Yeah.
And you're welcome for the headache.
SETI says I never win a bleeping thing.
So, SETI.
SETI.
Oh, SETI down now.
SETI.
Simmer down.
I'm curious. We have a couple people. Anyone know who DG Weekly is out here? And SETI, who are you? If you don't mind, if you don't mind me doxing
He said
you.
earlier it was raining in northern California.
I don't know.
Or northern Alabama or Arkansas
or
somewhere.
And a lot of people have been friending me lately on Facebook, like, "Oh, listen to the podcast." And I've gotten so many of them lately that I've lost track of who people are.
So popular.
I wish that was it.
As seen on Smashbox, I'm Johnny V. Yeah. Oh, disc golf popular. Paparazzi. Blind Ace wants a recount. He demands a recount. Ryan Hunt wins. Nope. Setting 28. Oh, gosh. What a mess.
Yep. Well.
Let's check. Oh, Don.
Trey did say... There's Trey, yeah. Trey Jones.
That look on Terry's face.
7 minutes of what? Heaven.
Has Trey even said anything since he first offered?
Yeah, he said something and then said something else.
Yeah. Thanks, Trey. We appreciate it. All right. Do we have anything of substance to talk about?
Nothing of substance. My real name is not this. Okay.
Don Loper, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a supporter and a sponsor last year.
Yep, we love
the Battle at Blue Lake. And again, if anybody needs any financial planning advice, Don Loper Financial is where you need to go. Get in touch with me, and I will pass you on to him. Super great guy. Has sponsored lots of different things and is a great guy.
As I say, we're 21. Last call for alcohol. We're going to close this bar down.
DG Weekly.
Anthony Mac Vandenheuvel.
Musk.
Vandenheuvel. That's a great Wisconsin name. That's like a Midwest Appleton Fox Valley name. Lots of vans.
Trivia or bust. I should try and think of something clever.
Trivia or what's that? Trivia or bust?
I don't know, but I was just going to try and think of something clever.
I think Mexico for the win won, but I don't know. I would say that's up to Trey. So, Trey, Mexico for the win. Hook up like Tinder. Figure that out. I almost swore on the figure that stuff out.
Don't you dare swear. Oh my gosh, this is so not FCC regulated.
I know. Figure that stuff out.
Do we have any other big sponsors we should be thanking for our podcast? Not really.
Not this week.
Next week.
Next week, hopefully we can make
major sponsors. Price is Right style.
Yeah, if you're interested in sponsoring or know your club would be interested in sponsoring or your league or your event, again, we're going to have some broadcasts coming up. So please reach out to us. We can work something out, whether it's just a mention, whether it's a little graphic, whether it's, Terry wearing your shirt, whether it's Terry not wearing a shirt. We'll figure it out.
I'm so confused. Seti, you're saying, I'm telling you, I didn't actually pick 28. I picked 54.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he was just, I don't know if this is being silly or not, but.
Oh, okay. Well, either way. Sounds like, Mexico for the win had 29? Is that what we talked about?
Mexico for the win had 29. So if Trey's on here, Mexico for the win, work that out.
Or if either of you need to contact me via Facebook.
Contact each other
so we can
get Terry.
Get you two figured out.
No, Seti, we got you. I know. What we see is instant, but what we're talking about is behind.
Yeah, is actually behind us.
So we'll get it figured out. Don't worry. Yeah, I think that's it. Step inside the Smashbox.
Yeah, you nailed it, buddy. You definitely. You nailed it.
That's kind of your saying, though.
I know. You were closing out the show. That's why I was anxiously waiting for you to do it, to see how it went for you, because it's not as easy as it looks.
It's not easy to close the show, but I was debating in my head whether I should say step inside the Smashbox or not, because
no, it's not my thing.
It is.
Well, it is, but I mean, you can use it.
Can I? You'd let me?
Yeah. I think.
All right.
Share this with all your friends. Well, maybe not this after show, but share all the other stuff with all your friends.
Yeah, that's true. Ryan Hunt picked 27 and Seti picked 29. Is that what it was?
Oh, gosh.
Flip a coin, boys. I'm done. Stick a fork in me.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, Trey. Good luck with that.
Work it out between you guys, amongst you three.
Yeah, Andrew, I didn't give you a bad number. I let you take my 38. That's your fault. Thank you, everyone.
How many strokes was Macbeth's winning world score?
Okay, Luke, for last year. 4?
For last year.
I'm going to say 393. I'm just seriously making that up. I'm going to say 393 strokes. Well,
I don't know. I don't care. We're done.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys.
Luke,
thanks a lot.
Later.
Step outside the Smashbox.
Get it. Bye.
Bye.